Hey guys, what's up? How's it hanging? Me, Megan, back with another video. So happy April. How's your first week of April? How was it? Yeah. I can't believe it's April. And so this week I thought to continue with the top 5 series and go with top 5 documentaries. Now, ya girl loves me some documentaries. I don't know why, I love watching documentaries. I don't know. So let's get crack-a-lackin' into the, my top 5 favorite documentaries. Now, again, these are the documentaries that I've seen. There are so many more that I want to go see that, I haven't seen. So let me know down below in the comments what your top 5 favorite documentaries are. The first one is the 70s, 80s, 90s. So there's this series of documentaries. I don't remember how many episodes there are. Maybe like 8 or between 8 and 10 from like on the 70s, on the 80s, and on the 90s. And I just saw on Netflix that there's 2000s now, and I'm so excited. I'm so want to watch that. And I don't remember who puts them out, but they're on Netflix. And I just love them so much because they talk about political stuff, they talk about celebrities, TV, movies, like they talk about everything pretty much that happened in those decades. And I absolutely love them. So I've heard of like famous things that have happened in the world. But I didn't put 2 and 2 together that they happened in these decades sometimes. And so, like, my mind was blown when I watched some of these. And, like, my parents were alive for all of these. My parents were born in the late 60s. And so they were children in the 70s. Children / adult teens. Young adults / adults in the 80s. And then adults in the 90s, and then obviously adults in the 2000s. So yeah, it's just, I love them so much, and if you're a nerd like me and you like that type of history, go check it out. I absolutely love them. Next one is also on Netflix, and it's Walt the Man Being the Myth. Oh, Behind the Myth. I can't even remember. Read my own handwriting. Walt the Man Behind the Myth. I believe this one was on Netflix, actually, or Hulu. I don't really remember. I think it was on Netflix, though. And if you know me, you know that I love Disney so much. And so anytime I see anything about Disney, I have to either watch it or read it or have it. So yeah, and this is just basically about Walt's life and like how he came up with the idea of Disney and how he executed his idea. And I just think it's a really good one, and I love it. Next up, I think it's on Netflix. I'm not positive, but I watched it on DVD years ago. I was a child when I watched this, and then I rewatched it as a young adult. I think I watched it on Netflix, and this is Super Size Me. And this is where I think the guy who did this, had like a vegetarian lifestyle beforehand. I don't remember which one it was, but it was one of those two. And then for, I think, like a whole month, all he ate was McDonald's, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And if they asked him if he wanted to supersize it, he had to say yes. And I believe this was in the early 2000s when this happened. For some reason, 2005 is like lighting up in my head right now, but I'm not positive that is the actual year it happened in. But it's really good, and it just shows the side effects of fast food, and honestly it put me off fast food for a little bit, but I don't think I could ever like not eat fast food because I grew up on it and I love it, and I know it's horrible for me, but I'm eating less of it nowadays, which is good. But it's a really, really good documentary, and I feel like everyone should watch it just so you know the health side effects. I mean, I'm sure you do, but it goes more in depth of the health side effects and just really what this fast food is doing to us. Yeah, it's cheap. Yeah, it's convenient. Yeah, it's fast. But is it really worth it in the long run? Yeah. Next up is Diana in Her Own Words, and I feel like this one was also on Netflix, and this one's about Princess Diana. And if you know me, you know I love the royal family and everything about it. Right now I'm reading a book about Diana that her friend wrote after she passed away. It was like, this book came out like a year after she passed away. I don't remember what it's called, but I know it's like Diana something, something, something. But this one was really good too because this shows Diana's side of everything, and I just really love it. And then lastly is Gaga 5'2", and this is about Lady Gaga, and it just goes behind everything, and it just tells everything from her perspective. And honestly, when I watched this was also on Netflix, by the way. When I watched it, I was kind of skeptical. I was only watching it because it was something to watch, and it looked kind of interesting, and then I love it. I love that documentary. I love seeing the human side of Lady Gaga because for a really long time in her career, she was a character. She wore outrageous stuff, she did outrageous things, and I really love that now she's coming back to herself, and honestly, she kind of reminds me of like Miley Cyrus, like the hippie Miley and stuff. So I love that we actually get to see Gaga for Gaga and not for her crazy, wild side of herself. I love seeing her as an actual human. What am I doing with my hands? But yeah, those were my top 5 documentaries that I absolutely love. I'm sure there are going to be more in the future. So yeah, like I said, comment below what your top 5 are, and I will be sure to check those out. And if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, subscribe to my beautiful face. I'll post new videos every single Friday at 4. I hope you guys have a beautiful weekend and a beautiful life. And yeah, bye.